Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I would definitely be here today to make a very special invitation, to be together today, at the time you will know for a great meditation, so that the energies that are arriving today can be used by all of you. No, you don't need anything, just your presence and your heart. The intensity of the energies that are arriving is immense and is really causing many changes. Changes in thinking, changes in acting, are bringing the truth to light in many cases. So now is the time to be alert, to what you will see, hear, know, and most importantly, how you will interpret each thing that arrives. My brothers, we are not here playing with nice words, the moment is very serious, as it is the moment that is leading to the total fall of the masks. Because the more light, the less shadows, there is no way to hide anything anymore. So don't be disappointed, don't be scared by many things you will see and hear. You are aware of what is happening, in fact you are also receiving these energies and are starting to see many things, concerning yourself, in a harder, more incisive way. But this is all planned, this is all known to us. The more the light arrives, the more it transforms, the more it brings awareness, the more it brings the truth. Unfortunately, many are unable to accept their own truths. It's as if all your flaws are jumping in front of you, making faces and laughing at you, and this is bothering many. But I can say that there is no point in you revolting, trying to make these little things that are appearing without love disappear. Because each of these inanimate problems that appear in front of you, if you look at them with anger, with hatred, with lack of love of any kind, notice that they will grow, become stronger and begin to bother you more and more. We are not the ones who are bringing these little creatures in front of you, let's say they are habits, customs, parts of your own character that you put in the back of the drawer, but that from time to time come to the surface. But of course, they are habits, customs that do not feed the light. So they are there, jumping in front of you, showing you that you need to destroy them. But it's not destroying them in anger, trying to take a slipper and hit them, it won't help, they are not physical, they are little ethereal creatures formed by yourself. So how are you going to self-destruct? Oh sure, you can self-destruct, but what's the point? The problem will still be there. So the best way to live with these debauched little creatures, who laugh at you all the time, is to accept them with love, to accept that they represent a side of you that is not very beautiful. But you need to face it head on, you need to change, you need to improve, and when you make that decision and start looking for ways to improve, the little creature loses its strength. It will no longer be a good enough size to make faces, it will become so small that it will self-destruct. And at that moment you will have learned your lesson. If you keep your deal with yourself, not to do that again, the little creature will never come back. Now if you forget and feed the same feeling again, it will rise from the ashes and start making faces again. So my brothers, what do I mean by all this? Don't just look at others, look at yourself too. The process is happening to everyone, there is no selection. The light arrives in every little piece of this planet, whether inhabited or not, and transforms that point into more light, removing the shadows, carrying out the cleaning that needs to be done. There's no point in hiding. And in relation to others, there is no point in fighting, or making things happen in relation to each other. It is up to each of you to look at the other with love before attacking them. Remember, no, I'm going through this too, but I'm aware and I can control the little creatures. But the one here in front of me is still unaware and doesn't know how to deal with it. So look at him with love, look at him with light, in that moment when you see all his distemper, all the negative points he is emanating, just look at him with love and cover him with light, more light. Because it will come the moment he will also be uncomfortable, he may not be aware of it today, but he may be aware of it tomorrow. And if you speak positive words, if you look at all that explosion of nonsense in a loving way, he will remember that he had support in you, a safe haven. Now if you enter the game and lower your frequency to fight with his, then everything becomes out of adjustment. You will lower your frequency, you will increase the size of your little creatures, and it will not help you in any way, it will only throw you even more out of balance. So my pillars of light, be light, not the post where light is, be effectively light. For many it is not easy to remain silent, but it is what needs to be done. Now there is also no point in remaining silent and inside, exploding with hatred, there is no point, the feeling has been emanated. So this is your role, it is not an easy role, because you need to deal with your creatures and those of others. Is easy? No, it's not. It's quite complicated. Now never forget, when fighting, ask for our help. So that we can help you to stay in the light, to emanate only light and help that brother. No matter what he is to you, he is a brother to keep, knowing that you are a safe haven for him, not an aggregator of his imbalance. This is the role of a pillar of light, to remain in balance. In any situation you cannot become unbalanced, you cannot descend to the level of someone who is unbalanced, this is the role of a pillar of light. And be sure that each time you do this, you move a little bit forward in the direction of light and pull anyone around. Because your strength attracts those around you, pulling them up too. So this is a delicate moment, in which you need to pay a lot of attention. Be very careful when talking to someone, don't get into the energy of those who complain about everything, talk bad about everyone, don't pay attention, get out of tune. Think of a beautiful place, think of birdsong, the sound of water, an animal making a sound, get out of tune with what you are hearing. And if the other person complains, you're not listening to me. Ah, I'm sorry, I was here traveling in my thoughts. And that's it, the moment is gone, you don't get on board with that tune. Avoid getting into these tunes, there's no point in being angry at those who only speak ill of others, at those who only complain. Because by being angry, you made yourself equal to him. So tune out, close your eyes and enter your pink, fantastic, beautiful, wonderful world and leave it talking to itself. It's better to be someone who is rude, who doesn't listen to what the other person is saying, than to be a kind person and always have a low vibration. Be rude to them, because you will only be protecting yourself. You are not obliged to listen to a lot of whining and complaints, you are not obliged to listen to someone complaining all the time, talking bad about others, criticizing, you are not obliged. That's not being kind, that's being stupid, because when you listen to what he says, you get in tune with him and automatically lose your balance, because it's bad for you. So no harm, politely turn your back and leave him talking to himself. Or enter your pink world, just stay there in the presence, in the body, not in the mind. My brothers, you need to be a little smarter, you need to take better care of yourselves. Loving the other is not accepting the other completely, harming yourself. Let the other person be as they are, but you don't need to match their energy. Because then you are giving up your journey for someone else. Ah, I need to pay attention. Why? Do you need to pay attention to someone who only complains? You are indirectly giving focus to what he says, and what's worse, he will keep talking, because you listen every time he speaks, you are there like a doll, listening to everything, so he keeps talking. Now, if you start to get up and leave, he will start to realize that you don't like what he says, and you will indirectly be helping him, because he will stop talking. But if he still wants to keep talking to time, that's his problem, you won't be listening anymore. My brothers, loving is not that, loving is looking at yourself first. And it's not about trying to change the other person, he needs to learn that he needs to stop talking nonsense, it's not you who will teach him that. It's unnecessary because he won't listen to you. Learn, don't connect with this tune, because in today's world that's what they do most: complain, speak badly, criticize, judge, discriminate. This is their way. It's the little creatures they have, who are there showing themselves to them, and they get angry with them. They don't know how to treat them. But don't forget one point: the light that is arriving is expanding consciousness. Then the time will come when they will begin to understand all that they are doing wrong. But each one in their own time, each one in their own way, each one in their own way. You won't be the one to show them. Each soul needs to have its own learning, in its own time. You chose a path, you chose to learn a lot, they chose not to. So you need to live their time. Don't be like them. You made choices, you chose to learn, you chose to try to change. So you are much more advanced. You don't want them to reach the point you are. Maybe one day they will or not. It will be their choice, not yours. So to wrap up, observe, pay attention at every moment. That's what's happening now: taking care of yourself, taking care of destroying your little creatures and not feeding those of others. Do you want to help? Speak nice words, speak sweet words, ask for our help. Then yes, you break this whole sequence and still help a brother. Don't forget this: right now it's the most important thing you have to do.